Don't forget to subscribe for daily boxing videos, guys. The big fight is me and Joshua, of course, and that's who I want. I've been calling him out for almost 2 years now. A lot of people think this has just started, but it didn't. It started years ago. I told people to do their research and their history. Then they'll come up with the facts instead of the fiction. But I want to unify by all means necessary. Whether Joseph Parker has it or Anthony Joshua has it. It doesn't matter who has it. I want to unify, and I can be clearer than that. Now that is what WBC heavyweight champion of the world Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder had to say. He said that he's been calling out Anthony Joshua for 2 years. 2 years. Which means he started calling him out in February of 2016. Apparently. Now, when it comes to me, as far back as I can remember, Deontay Wilder was calling out Anthony Joshua definitely since the start of 2017. I don't know if it's as far back as 2016. I wasn't doing a lot of boxing research that as far as then, so, and I didn't even create my channel, so it might be true. But the point is, it didn't happen, did it? And I could sit here and say Brian Jennings was calling out Deontay Wilder for 5 years. I remember Brian Jennings calling out Deontay Wilder in 2013. Why didn't he fight Brian Jennings? You know what I'm saying? I could sit here and say Jarrell Miller has been calling out Deontay Wilder for a year. Why didn't Deontay Wilder fight him? I could sit here and say Tyson Fury has been calling Deontay Wilder since 2013. Why didn't he fight him? So I could sit here and say all this shit. I could even sit here and say Amir Mansour was calling out Deontay Wilder since 2016. So, you know, Wilder's going around saying he's been calling out Joshua for 2 years, but a lot of heavyweights have been calling him out for years. You know what I'm saying? That he hasn't fought. So it's one of those things that, you know, you could go around calling people out, but if you don't fight them, it really doesn't mean anything, does it? You have to actually fight the guys, not just call them out. You know, when Terrence Crawford, when Victor Postol became the champion, right? When he won a belt at 140, I believe he won the WBO belt, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I did research on those guys, but when he won the belt, he immediately called out Terrence Crawford. And you want to know what happened? Terrence Crawford immediately called him out. And you want to know what happened? They fought in less than a year. They fought and unified in less than a year. When Julius Ndongo defeated Ricky Burns to become the unified champion at 140, almost instantaneously Terrence Crawford called out Julius Ndongo. And you want to know what happened? They fought 4 months later. You see how boxing works? When guys really want to fight guys, when they call them out, they actually make it happen. They don't just call them out and then 5 years pass and the fights don't actually materialize. They actually get in the ring and fight them. Terrence Crawford is a perfect example of a guy that went around calling people out. And guess what? He actually stepped in the ring and fought them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing when it comes to Wilder is, you know, he goes around calling out people. A bunch of heavyweights, a bunch of people. Joseph Parker, he's called out Joseph Parker. He's called out Tyson Fury. He's called out Anthony Joshua. But he's not actually getting in the ring with them. You know, what counts is getting in the ring with them. I love fighters calling people out, but you have to get in the ring with these fighters. You have to get in the ring with these fighters to get the credit. You can't just say, I was calling him out for 6 years, but he never fought me, so therefore I'm still going to get credit for calling him out. It doesn't work like that. You don't get credit for calling out a fighter. You get credit for fighting the fighter. Even if you lose against him, you get credit for fighting him. You know what I'm saying? You don't get credit for just calling him out. You get what I'm saying? It's like Errol Spence Jr. I think Errol Spence Jr. beats Keith Thurman. I think he beats Danny Garcia. But I'm not giving him credit for beating these guys yet because he hasn't beat them yet. He's been calling them out. He's been calling out Keith Thurman. He's been calling out Danny Garcia. But these guys have been chickens and they've been avoiding him, right? But I'm not gonna give him the credit for beating these guys yet because he hasn't beat them. He has to go in there and prove me right and actually beat them. But I'm not gonna say that, you know, he's beating them already. I'm not gonna be patting him in the back. A lot of Deontay Wilder fans, you know, they pat Deontay Wilder in the back as if he's beaten Anthony Joshua, as if he's beaten Joseph Parker, as if he would have beaten Vladimir Klitschko. Just because he's calling them out, but he hasn't actually fought them. He hasn't actually stepped in the ring with them. So how can you give him credit? You know, newsflash, get in the ring with the dude, fight the dude, and I'll give you credit. That's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think of this video. If you like the video, I appreciate it. If you watch the video from start to finish, I appreciate it. And like always, guys, if you want daily boxing videos, I'm the channel for you. And that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out.